Welcome to boundariesforeffectiveministry.org and to part 5 in our series of licensed marriage versus Christian matrimony. When you purchased a commercial marriage license, you put yourself under the jurisdiction of many state agencies. And because of that, a state can remove children from parents' custody without the parents' consent, because the state has jurisdiction over the children.
But just because you're a mother doesn't mean you get your children.
They can remove them even at gunpoint if you disagree with their policy.
A mother took the stand today defending her rights as a parent.
At the heart of it is the question, who decides what the best medical care is for a child? The government or the parents?
So you felt essentially they were putting poison in your daughter's body?
Psychotic medication is poison.
The Department of Human Services attempted to take the child from the mother.
Galbaldo barricaded herself in her home, and this lasted 10 hours.
Mary Ann was hauled off to prison for 5 days.
It was terrifying.
This is an example of how bad it can get when a parent resists state policy.
After months of fighting, Mary Ann Galbaldo left court with an order to finally take her daughter home. Today, the judge ruled it was a parent's job, not the state's, to oversee medication, claiming a victory for parents everywhere.
So, what interest of the state is at risk when a parent objects to state policy? It can't be any interest in having parents behave responsibly because Mary Ann was behaving responsibly, protecting her child. It can't be the welfare of the child because her child was kidnapped at gunpoint and incarcerated in a psychiatric facility for 9 months. What the state is doing is enforcing a commercial contract you signed when you asked for and bought a marriage license. But it's not negotiated between the parties. It's an adhesion contract which is non-negotiable, take it or leave it, because the terms are dictated only by one party. For example, the terms of any government license are dictated by the government. All software licenses terms are dictated by the vendor. All credit card application terms are dictated by the bank, and the 10 Commandments are dictated by God. They're non-negotiable. The difference between God's contract is that its law is protective. It protects me from you and you from me, while all civil law is coercive in favor of the state. In particular, the family court is a tribunal of final arbitration. There are no appeals, and a profitable corporation owned by the state. You can check this out by going to the Dun & Bradstreet website, which lists all the profit-making corporations in the country, and type in its search engine a state, for example, like Kansas courts, and you will get back all the listings for Kansas courts, and you can get reports on them. Because the courts are profit-making corporations, it means there's no incentive to resolve family issues, so many children grow up under the direction of family courts until they're 18.
It's who you know and how much money you have. It doesn't have anything to do with the law. It doesn't have anything to do with justice.
The financial incentives are to keep these situations going. There's no financial incentive to settle the case. The evaluators make a ton of money. The attorneys for the minor and the family court attorneys are guaranteed payment for, if the child's 3 years old, for the next 15 years. Because they never settle, these cases never settle.
If there's money in the family, they'll appoint an evaluator. And first it will go to court mediation. If there's enough money, they'll recommend private mediation. Typically they'll appoint a parenting coordinator, a parenting coach, a therapist for each family member. And the amounts that these people can charge are not regulated at all.
All these people that are making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars statewide off of the whole family law machine, they want the court to make those orders because those orders are what get them paid.
These are the terms you agreed to when you bought an adhesion contract called a marriage license. So what do people do who do not get a marriage license and they live under God's law? Well, we don't give legal advice or necessarily endorse the methods people have told us about, but essentially they use private contracts, such as prenuptial agreements, joint property ownership, appointing each other as executors of their respective estates, powers of attorney. And so there you have it. May you always make an informed choice about the law you choose, God's law or man's law.